Hello, it's me Arg. I'm just showing you how to set up a bearded dragon viv. First thing you're going to need is a viv. This one here is my one. It's 3 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot deep. It has in it a UV bulb that goes all the way along, a heat bulb, and there's also a heat mat underneath the tank there. The temperature, I'm getting all the temperature information off this website, so I'm just going to it says here the temperature should be 76 to 86 I think it's centigrade, Celsius I mean. And in the basking point 90 to 100, and at night it should go down to 75. This is just what it says off this piece of paper. What I do is I go on loads of different websites and get an average and just see what works best for your own lizard. So just ask around and ask your local pet shop, they'll know the better things. I just set mine to whatever's right for these two. Okay. The other thing you're going to need is a substrate. I use baking paper. The other thing you're going to need is some big flat rocks. I've got here. They've just been cleaned so they're a bit wet. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. A log for them to climb on. A water dish and a feed bowl. So the first thing you put in is the substrate. Put that in now. There you go, as you see, substrate's in now. If you are using a paper substrate like what I'm using, make sure you cut it first and make sure it's a tight fit, as you don't want them to keep going underneath it, so try and get it as snug as you can, because also crickets go underneath it and they sit there for ages just trying to attack this thing, trying to get a cricket, and it's kind of funny but it's a bit tight after a bit. But so that's down first. Next thing in, I put the water bowl in. So I don't put water in until the end because it's easier. Next thing you're going to need is rocks. You need all your rocks up near the hot end. The better they are, the better to be big and flat, as the flat rocks heat up faster, and it works as like a basking point, somewhere to lie on, and kind of like a hot rock. As you shouldn't use the electric hot rocks, as they are, every single website tell you not to, especially if it's the only source of heat, as they will sit on them and they'll just burn themselves. I make like a bit of crazy paving design over here. Try and wedge them all in like that. Next thing I put in is the log, as they like to climb a bit. So that's pretty much how I set my cage out. Next thing is the food tub. I just use a plastic tub. I feed mine this stuff, the cabbage and kale. I give them about a cupful. During the summer I feed them mainly on nasturtiums, as it's free, as it's grown from my garden. Yep. This all out. In the bottom of the tub. Nasturtiums are an excellent food for them, as they are free. It's a herb-like plant. If you type it into the internet you'll find them. They're really easy to grow. I should have grown some indoors for all year round, but I didn't get round to it, and now the frost has come and killed all my ones that's outside. So I'm just putting a bit of cabbage in. They probably won't eat all this, but whatever's left, as it goes in the morning it'll be all dry, and I just give it to the mealworms to eat, so it doesn't actually matter that much. There you go. As bearded dragons are omnivores, they also need bugs and insects. Yeah, I'm just going to get the bugs. These are the bugs I'm using. I've put them in a bag because I'm going to put calcium on them. There's mealworms in there and some crickets. There's two types of supplements you can put on. This one's just calcium, and this one is calcium and vitamin. You put this one on for most of the week. So about, oh god, it's all gone off the top of my head. This one's twice a week. This one's the rest of the week. So I put some calci dust in with these. There you go. There's a bit of calcium in that. I think I put a bit too much in, so I don't want all that to fall out, as you can overdo it. There you go, they're all nicely dusted. Looks a bit like a bag of white powder, so, but they're all in there now. I put the live food in the food bowl with the vegetables, so they go in there and they hide, and then they have to dig them out between the veg. And because mine don't actually like eating the veg as much, so as they go for the bugs, they have to pick up a mouthful of veg. So I'm just going to put that in over there now. And as you can see, that's it, they're in there now. I'm just going over now to my birdies. This one's the girl and this one's the boy. I'm just going to show you how to pick them up. The easiest way is to just go behind the head and just scoop like that. Birdies are really calm and they will just sit there. The other, I think that's the only way. There's loads of ways you can actually pick them up. You can do that way where you go with under your hand, scoop with these fingers going like under, like that. So you just go under and you go like that. But that way is the easiest, and you can hold them like that. And if they have got all their nails, as these ones have, some of them lose them, and it's quite often to see them without digits, but they will just cling onto your top and you can walk around the house with them. They are quite calm and they do normally sit on you that often. This one's a bit more lively, but it still just sits on you. They do flatten out as well. As they're basking, they will go flat. And you know if they don't want to be picked up because they'll hiss and they'll expand. So I'm just going to go put them in now. So if I just open up the cage. So it's just a case of scoop and plonk and scoop and plonk. And also need to fill up the water. Bottle of water. Let's fill it up. There you go. As you see, it's gone straight to the food bowl. That would normally be, most of that will still be there in the morning. But there you go, it's gone straight to the kale. Also, now that you've handled the things, it's also a good idea to wash your hands. And this is the product which I'd strongly recommend. It's the alcohol hand wash. You don't need running water, as it will just wash your hands without it. It's really good. This is the reptile version, and a bottle like this, which is 500 mils, will cost you something about £15, I think it cost me. Then I went into supermarket and I found this stuff, which is the human version. It doesn't have a reptile on it, and it was £1, and it's really easy to use. You just pop it on your hand, wipe your hands, and your hands are then clean. As these things contain salmonella, this is an excellent product, as it will just wash your hands instantly. It's also good if you're going in between cages. So if you're going in from your beardies to your leopard geckos, you can just quickly wash your hands, and it's disappeared off your hands within minutes. It just dries. It also tells you if you've got any cuts on your hands, as it is alcohol based, because it evaporates in the air, and you'll know if you have a cut on your hand with this stuff. Also, don't use it if you have amphibians, as it will go into their skin and it can kill them, as it is alcohol based, but it's only for amphibians, don't use it. But for lizards it's fine. Leave your hands a few minutes to dry, and then at the end of the day, after you finish with all your reptiles, go wash your hands normally under the tap, and that's it. It's easy to do. So just leave you on the bedders. Alright.